Clyde's got his boots on, sitting in the old recliner, screen of glowing pixel barns, ain't nobody finding. Tractors on the TV, harvesting the rows, corn and wheat in perfect lines, how that bounty grows. Kids around the kitchen, but Clyde don't even hear. He's facing down tornadoes, fighting virtual fears, ranching through the seasons from summer to the frost, clicking through the hayfields where no seed is lost. Playing farmer on a screen feels so real and true. Got his heart in every pixel, doing what he loved to do. Sun setting o'er the fields, his hands never tired. Clyde's farm simulator keeps his old soul on fire. Grandpa's dusty tractor still sitting in the shed, but Clyde's got a new one in that digital homestead. Plowing through the night, moonlight on the hay, dreaming of the harvest in an artificial way. Wife hollers dinner time, but he's in a virtual trance, swatting at mosquitoes in a make-believe expanse. Cornfield in the software, chickens on the move. Life's a lot simpler when you don't need to prove. Playing farmer on a screen feels so real and true. Got his heart in every pixel, doing what he loved to do. Sun setting o'er the fields, his hands never tired. Clyde's farm simulator keeps his old soul on fire. Playing farmer on a screen feels so real and true. Got his heart in every view, got his heart in every pixel, doing what he loved to do. Sun setting o'er the fields, his hands never tossed. Clyde's farm simulator never will expire. Playing farmer on a screen feels so real and true. Got his heart in every pixel, doing what he loved to do. Sun setting o'er the fields, his hands never tired. Clyde's farm simulator keeps his old soul on fire. Oh, never will expire.
Welcome to Clyde's Farm, everybody, and welcome to our brand new series on Ladyhill by FS Landscaping, and this one is called The Contractor, which you can probably guess is what we're going to be doing. This is a real location in County Antrim in Northern Ireland, and a map that popped up not so long ago on the mod hub, which I looked at and decided I like that. I've been wanting to do a contracting series for ages, but never really got round to it. So here we go. We have our trusty old Land Rover. We have £2,000 in the bank, and that's it. We are currently at the vehicle workshop. We have a very small plot of land. Apparently it's got a caravan on it. We just picked up the keys to a caravan and an old tractor. So we're just going to go and survey what we've got. We're going to try and do a lot of the driving between places anyway in cab. Remembering that we're driving on the left hand side of the road. And we're going to try our very, very best not to crash into anything, but as you can see in the Land Rover, the vision, the view is not wonderful. So we've been told there's a place down here on the right which we have to go past to get to our little plot of land. Now that looks like what they were describing. Yes, this looks like what it said on the map. minding the pedestrians. And that looks like our plot of land over there. So let's just pull up out the front and have a look. So we've got an old barn by the looks of it with a Volvo BM and a Stroutman flatbed trailer. A little tiny bit of land and a caravan, and that is our lot. So our plan of action is we are going to be doing contracting work from the shop, and we're obviously not going to make an amazing amount of money from doing that, but because we're going to have to borrow equipment, it gives us a bit of a last hurrah on the FS22 equipment. Contracts we're going to try and do in order, so whatever's at the top of the list is what we'll do first. And yeah, we're just going to see where we get to. Obviously with that little plot of land that we've got there, we can't live in a caravan forever, so we'll need to save up and try and get ourselves a house of some description. And I don't know, maybe we might look at, because our plot of land is so small, if we want to make some side hustle money, maybe we need to look at bees, chickens maybe. Right. Well, there's no time like the present, so let's go to work and see what contracts there are available. So we've got a cultivating job, a one-off, on field 46, which gives us an opportunity to look at the map as well. So let's just zoom out on the map. So vehicle shop is here, our plot of land is there, and that's everything that's going on. So field 46 is up there, so we need the money, and it's decent money, so let us borrow the items. That's a decent tractor as well. I like that. So it's given us a front weight, so we'll use the front weight. Let's attach the front weight. Let's jump on the cultivator. I'm sure we're going to make plenty of mistakes. Let's get the beacons on. Because there's going to be equipment that we're using that we haven't used before. Now I think we go down there, swing a right, follow it up, and maybe we can get through there. So our task will be do the job. Let's get in cab, because that's what we were going to try and do the job, and obviously return the equipment back where we got it from, because that is our place of work. Coming that way. Right. So I've not seen much of this map, but looks very pretty. Very rural. There is, it looks like there's a quarry. There's a little dirt racetrack as well that at some point we'll go and have a look at. Very uphill down dales. It's not a bad thing because we're not going to be, well, apart from a house, we're not going to be building anything. We're literally going to be trying to save and bank some money. So chickens, bees won't be a bad thing. It costs us a bit to put the bees in, but then everything's free. Chickens, obviously, because we don't really own any land that we can grow food for, and we will have to buy. We have gone totally wrong, haven't we? Somewhere, because we're at the edge of the map. We are basically driven past where we wanted to go, so excuse me for a second whilst I try and turn around in a hedge. There we go. That's what you get for talking too much. Oh, there's a fence in that one. Told you it would all go wrong, didn't I? Right, let's come out here where there's no fence. Right, so we need to be over there on the right hand side somewhere, but I think we need to go quite a way back down first. So yeah, obviously chickens, it will cost us to put a chicken coop in, and then it's gonna carry on costing us with food. But if we get to that stage, at least we'll be able to work out if we can make money from the chickens or not. Let's just, is this where we want to? No, it's the next one, or maybe the next one after that. I'm going to try and get in this one here, I think, if it's at all possible, which it could be. Let's go in here. Let's try and avoid the little tree. Follow this road around, and 46 is literally there. So how do we get in? So there's a gate there. That is 46. And there's a little track up here. So I think maybe we've come in one turn too soon. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So the road we go. It's got to be a car, isn't it? Always a car. My own fault for going wrong in the first place. So maybe in cab isn't such a good idea. But this is the field that we want. So let's unfold the cultivator. And lower. And away we go. Let's just make sure we are. Yes, we are. Right, so we're away on our first contracting job. And immediately we are using two bits of equipment that we would never normally even look at. So we are going to set the time at ×5. So every real 1 minute is 5 minutes in game. We will set some little rules like we can't start a job when the light is fading. And we can't start a job after 6 PM. Well, I'll tell you what, let's make that 5 PM. Because we do want to have some sort of life. We obviously have no idea what contracts are going to come up. If contracts are going to come up, will contracts die off at certain points in the year? Which means we won't be making any money, but we'll still be spending out on building maintenance. I know we haven't got much in the way of buildings, but it will still cost us for those buildings. Obviously once we get chickens, we're still going to need to buy chicken food, even when we're not making any money. Right, so there is either a fence in there or a collision on the hedge, so it looks like we are going to have to do a couple of headlands on both sides. Which is going to test my limited abilities. So yeah, we're not really in control as such. We're just working for somebody else, and doing as we're told. The vehicle shop obviously gets a cut of the money for us borrowing the equipment, and then we get whatever's left out of the contract goes in our bank account, and sometimes that will be a decent amount of money, and I'm guessing a lot of the time it's going to be next to nothing money. We will do, or we will endeavour to do, the best job that we possibly can for each person that we're going to contract ourselves out to. Just going to raise that there because I want to go back and do another headland. Obviously, a disadvantage to borrowing equipment, which is, depends on how you look at it, you can turn it into an advantage, is you never own anything, but then you've not got the running costs that are associated with owning your own equipment, like fuel, like servicing, like repairs. When we get into things like fertilising and seeding and stuff like that, we will buy the products ourselves, because I'll probably live to regret saying this, but I'm fairly sure that we can empty the product out of said implements when we're finished, store it at the shop area, and then use it again the next time we get a similar contract. I possibly might buy my own plough. I am a little bit partial to the Lizard 9-metre plough. I am actually going to do another headland just to give myself a little bit more room, and probably do another one up the other end as well. Because I want to do the best job possible. So let's give ourselves every opportunity to do the best job possible. Again, if we possibly can, I was going to say, no, I think I might change my mind on that one. I was going to say we'll use tools again for multiple jobs if possible, but I don't think that's the right way to do it. If we're working for the vehicle shop and they're making their money through us renting stuff from them, I think we should get the equipment that comes with each contract. and it means we get to drive more stuff. This will probably be a very good type of series to start our adventure on 25 when that comes out, because we'll get to know fairly quickly before mods start dropping what the good equipment is, what the equipment is we don't like. Try and get this one as straight as possible. Just help us going forwards. So I don't know how much the plough is. I'm going to guess somewhere between 15 and 20 grand. So we're a long way from that. A house is going to cost us, I would guess, we build it ourselves, in the region of 100,000. Chickens are cheap, but chicken coops are not cheap. And basically we'll just see where we can get to, whilst enjoying driving bits of kit that we wouldn't normally drive. Here in Ireland. So with time set on ×5, we're not going to be able to do 30 contracts every day, which is good. Depending on the size, we might get a couple, 3 contracts in maybe per day, depending on what we're doing. Obviously if we're baling and stuff like that, that obviously takes a lot longer. When this contract's complete, we go back to the shop, we collect the money for the contract, and we look at the next one, providing we've got time. Time is always the constraint. Never really used these tractors, but this is quite good actually. Decent power. Don't suppose we'll always get equipment with decent power, but we seem to be trucking along at 11 miles an hour quite happily. Even up the hill. Now the AI and the routing for the workers on FS25 is supposed to have had a major revamp and looks like it could be a lot better than what it is on here, with things getting stuck in places that you sort of wonder how they ever got there. That could be an opportunity to, rather than being a contractor, we could have a contracting company where we pay people to go and do the contracts but collect money for them doing it. Could be a possible series going forwards once we hit FS25. What we've got about 17 days, so I think it might be a bit more, it might be 3 weeks yesterday. And obviously we've still got our Silver Run Forest series going as we're recording this, obviously depending on when you watch it, but that will be completed once we've ridden, or once we've built and ridden the roller coaster. And we've got our Western Wild series on the go as well, which is not that far off being completed. We're in the middle of doing our Harvester collection, which we're going great guns on. So this was something to fill the gap between other series completing and 25 being launched. I may be making this up as I go along, but I am thinking that 25 launches on a Friday, which will at least give us the weekend to mess with it. And maybe start making some videos. We are definitely going to try and record everything we do on this series. And on other series we do some stuff offline and skip about a bit, but on this one we're going to try and keep it real so that you don't miss any of our jobs that we're going to do, any of the equipment that we're going to use. Obviously, if we complete a contract, we are going to carry on and finish off whatever it is we're doing. And sometimes the landowners can be quite generous, and you might have a strip or two left when it says you've completed it, but we're not going to leave their land in that sort of state because excuse me, that was my annoying cough. We want word to get about that we are good contractors, and that way we'll get more contracts, and by getting more contracts we'll drive more stuff and we'll make more money. And because there's things we want to buy and build, money is king at the moment. There are, just looking at the description of the map, 158 fields on this map. So we have no idea where we're going to go and how we're going to get on. And as you saw, getting into this field, I think it's going to be a bit like that on most fields. How do we get in? What gates do we open? Is there a gate? So we are 90% complete. Runs are gonna get a little bit shorter as we hit that curve on the right hand side. Obviously weather will affect us. If we've got harvesting contracts with rain and snow, the rain stops play, and we may need to do a bit of fast forwarding of time, but obviously that will affect what and when we can earn money. We may even be in a position where if it starts, as an example of harvesting, it starts raining halfway through, there may be another contract that we can get on with whilst it's raining. Got no problems doing that as long as we get our work done by the end of the day. We don't pay the rental fee up front, which is good. That comes out of the contracted remuneration. So contract on field 46 is finished, but we are not. So we will, I was going to say we will plough on, but we're not ploughing, we will cultivate on. Obviously comes a bit more prevalent with harvesting and baling, because the deal we have is we get the farmer will say, I want X amount of crop from this field, and if you do everything correctly and you get more than expected, that is yours as a bonus. So going the extra mile and finishing the fields off in a lot of cases will benefit us financially, making up for the extra time that we need to spend to get it finished. We will also try and make sure that any gates that we've opened to get into the job at hand, we close on the way out. I've just seen that there's another gate there that we possibly could have come down, but we got there, so that's all that matters. We don't have to worry about washing equipment or anything like that, well, apart from our own. We haven't actually got anything that we can wash our equipment with at the moment, but I'm sure that won't be like that forever. Thought about selling our tractor and trailer, but if we're going to do chickens, if we're going to do bees, and we're going to make honey, and we're going to make pallets of eggs, ultimately we're going to need a way to transport them to wherever we're going to sell them. So it's not really a good idea to get rid of them. Right, so we're finished there. Let's get this gate closed. He says, there we go. Back on the road, so we'll get the beacons on. Just pull across here so we're not blocking the road. And go and shut this gate. Or not, because I'm not around the right way. Okay. Let's head back and collect our first bit of money. And see what we're going to do next. So now we're off the field. Let's go in cab. Looks like a nice house there. Bit well out of my price range. A sharp left coming up here. Lots of nice houses actually. Everything is nicely signposted, like vehicle shop. And we park out the front. Jump out. Go to our contracts and collect. Right, fertilizing on field 20. Where is field 20? Right over there. Okay. So any type of fertilizer, liquid, solid, slurry or manure. So where are we going to? See, this is where I'm thinking that maybe as we can use any type of fertilizer on there. Do we go for something like this? Fill it up. Field 35. we're going to have to be a little bit ingenious here. So there's 35, which isn't that far away. So it might be that we do 35 and then we start. I think that's a good plan. And we'll use. No, see, that's cheating. But where are we going to get? And what can we get in there? But do you know what? Let's just find out. Let's not cheat. Right, so what can we... Liquid fertilizer, it's so expensive. $2,000 litres. Solid fertilizer is more expensive. Okay, so can we buy slurry or manure? I'm guessing it's going to be slurry. Doesn't look like we can buy it, does it? I think we're going to have to go liquid fertilizer. And hope that this is going to take it. It's definitely a slurry tanker. But we've got nowhere that we can buy slurry. Why can't we buy slurry? Why would... Do you know what? I should have just gone with my first plan, shouldn't I? So, see if we can get our money back for that. Thought we could get our money back for that, but obviously not. So we may have to use that. This is not good, is it? Let's go back to our contracts. So let's borrow them, but let's do a little bit of cheating and use this tractor. And let's buy some solid fertilizer. Let's buy 2 of them. Right, so we've got enough money to get a 3rd one. So basically what we need to do is get a contract finished so we can collect some money back. And that one gives us 1400. That one, see, that's the one we really want. Build 35, it's just have we got enough? We're not opposed to a short-term loan if we really need it to get a contract finished. Let's get them their beacons on. Right, field 35. Is here, and there's a gate. And we're not going to be able to see where we've been because of the crop in the field. That's not handy. But we should be able to use our soil composition map to see where we've been. So in theory we'll go against what we said earlier, and we will use, when needed, the same equipment to do multiple contracts. It's definitely going to happen on the fertilising contracts, because that's a bit annoying that it gave us a slurry tanker and nowhere to get slurry from. I suppose I could put in a buy anything silo. Ultimately what we really need is this contract complete with what we've got in here. Ideally we'll have enough to do that other contract, but I very much doubt we'll be that lucky. We've used 4% at the moment. And we are we'll get back up to the top, and that's going to be the end of this first episode. But obviously you folks won't miss a thing, because the next episode will start exactly where we left off. So that should, in theory, if we look quickly, it's not actually telling us anything, is it? That was, please tell me I didn't. No, they are both fertilising, so that's good. Okay, so we'll end that episode there, and we'll carry on with that puzzle when we come back. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
The sun's sinking low, painting fields in golden light. The cattle graze slow as day turns into night. Tractor in the barn, day's work finally done. Peace settles in underneath the setting sun. Grandpa's on the porch, rocking to and fro, with a carved wooden pipe, watching the fireflies glow. The crickets start to sing a soft evening tune. The shadows grow long beneath the rising moon. Sunset on the farm, day's end brings a sigh, with a carved wooden pipe, watching the fireflies glow. The crickets start to sing a soft evening tune, as shadows grow long beneath the rising moon. Sunset on the farm, day's end brings a sigh, with the stars up above in the clear country sky. Worries fade away as night begins to charm. Nothing feels as right as sunset on the farm. The fields are quiet now, not a soul around, just the whispering wind and the old house gentle sound. Mama's in the kitchen, making one last meal, with love in every bite, a warmth you can feel. Kids are in their beds, tuckered out from play, dreaming of adventures they had through the day. Hay bales stacked up high, standing tall and proud, underneath the blanket of the evening shroud. Sunset on the farm, day's end brings a sigh, with a carved wooden pipe, watching the fireflies glow. The crickets start to sing a soft evening tune, as shadows grow long beneath the rising moon. Sunset on the farm, day's end brings a sigh, with the stars up above in the clear country sky. Worries fade away as night begins to charm. Nothing feels as right as sunset on the farm.